Hi friends, welcome to the pre-watch video on a very interesting and a very relevant, rather I should be saying, uh, concept of gross versus net reporting. Uh, at the outset, I want to tell you that the concept that you're talking about is based on the revenues, gross and net reporting. It's not a question of profitability, or it's not a question of um, the manipulation of accounts or anything like that. So keep your head very clear out of that. So what is this concept all about? Yeah, this is an aggregator's problem. This is the problem of a broker. This is the problem of a distributor that is making this concept relatively relevant in today's times, because 3 out of 5 business models these days is actually not creating the value themselves, but just kind of aggregating different players together, and in that kind of taking some commission or some brokerage out of that. So you have, your generation is actually a generation of Flipkart and Amazon, and they are typically an aggregator, so to speak. They don't have a product of their own. Yes, technically there are a couple of brands that they might have, getting manufactured through one of their own subsidiaries, but that's not the main job. The main job is to kind of aggregate. So you have Oyo, in terms of the hotel business, you have Uber and Ola's in terms of the shared mobility concepts, and of course the e-commerce is there for everyone else to believe. So people, from a business point of view, and here again, I'm not bringing cash in. There's another point that I want you to be very clear in your head, that in all the income statement concepts that we have done, accrual of revenue, accrual of expenses, then perhaps provisioning that we are going to do, or if you have already looked at that video, and even this, the cash flow is never a deciding factor. So cash flow typically, to my mind, is relationship of two associates, uh, the way they contract with each other, depending on who is stronger than the other in terms of the negotiation skills. So to my mind, that's what a cash flow is all about. And of course, you got to pay to the supplier and all that stuff. But happening of the transaction, the execution of the transaction every time, like I've been saying, is independent of cash. So here in gross and net reporting, don't bring the cash flow differences into picture. You might be surprised that in both gross reporting versus net reporting of revenue, the cash flow transaction remains identical and same. That's the beauty of this concept. So let's talk about, enough of context. Let's talk about what is this gross versus net reporting. And I'm going to here, just to kind of put things into context, I'm going to take an example where Maruti is buying tires from MRF and then selling it to the dealers for after sales market. So typically, if a car has already run for 40,000 kilometers, the consumer may want to get the tire repaired. So they go to a dealer shop, and where does that dealer get that tire? Something called as Maruti's Genuine Part, MGP, or Maruti's Genuine Accessories, MGA. But Maruti doesn't make tires themselves, so they buy it from MRF. And honestly, Maruti in this transaction doesn't add any value, in the sense that there is no half-baked tire that comes from MRF, which is completed at Maruti's factory and shipped out to the dealer. In a way, what I'm trying to say is Maruti per se, of course, is a manufacturer, but in this transaction is acting a pure play trader. Okay. Now, here are two choices that Maruti have. First, purchase the tire, bring it onto Maruti's books, call it their inventory for some time, and then put up a nice box of Maruti's Genuine Accessories, etc., and sell it to the dealer. So let's say, just for the sake of context, 40,000 rupees for 4 tires, inducted, and then sold for 50,000 rupees. 10,000 is like the margin that they make. You and I know it as gross profit. So sales minus cost of goods sold. That's first way, and in which case Maruti becomes the owner of the tire for even for a shorter time. It's a principal to principal transaction between the Maruti and MRF. Now the second option that Maruti is thinking is this, that why don't MRF directly sell it to the dealer? The transaction gets still facilitated by Maruti. Maruti is the one who brings the dealership showroom and the MRF together, but doesn't buy the tire in between. That means to say, in this case, the tire doesn't become Maruti's inventory ever. Maruti brings the two partners together, acts as aggregator, creates an ecosystem. For that, charges 10,000. So dealer still pays 50,000 rupees for that tire. MRF still gets 40,000 rupees for the tire. Maruti's take home, may I use the word, take home is only 10,000 in both the cases. But do you see the difference in the structuring? In the second one, Maruti is only acting as a facilitator, only acting as a broker, distributor, only charging, so to speak, commission out of that. This model is a net reporting model. Should a Maruti follow this kind of a pattern, the accounting rules, the way they have to present their revenue is only 10,000 rupees. In this case, where Maruti is not bringing it onto the books, their revenue can never be 50 minus 40 of COGS net of 10. People, again, I'm repeating, Maruti is not wanting to manipulate its profit. It's only a question of how much revenue can Maruti show. Can Maruti show 50,000 of revenue? Can Maruti show 10,000 of revenue? That's the point. So it depends upon, as you saw, is the substance of the business transaction. How much risk is Maruti taking into it? Because in the second example that I took, where there is only a facilitator's role, and Maruti is getting the MRF, the tire manufacturer, and the service showroom together, the tire is directly getting transferred from MRF to dealership without becoming inventory, in which case the risk is minimal. If something wrong happens to the tire, the dealership has to directly complain to MRF because Maruti's genuine accessories didn't come into picture. The money earned is still 10,000. Never get into confusion with regards to this. So that's what I'm going to discuss with you in the live class through an example where when can Maruti follow a gross reporting vis-a-vis net reporting? Although we have already introduced this concept to a larger extent, through the numericals, it's going to become relatively clearer. Apart from revenue, is there any other difference between the two reporting? That's what is going to be the interesting idea. Will the profits going to be different? How would the cost structures behave? How would the profitability ratios change? Because profitability ratios is profit divided by sales. So if your profit is same but your revenues are different, will the aggregator model sound more profitable mathematically? If so, does it have valuation implications? These are the things that you got to look at in the live class. So I'm extremely excited to talk about the gross versus net reporting in our live class that we are going to follow very shortly. Thanks for watching this. See you in the live class.